afternoon and good evening. This is Poet's Corner, and I've got something really funny to say. I just did this reading totally for 20 minutes, and I forgot to turn the microphone on. yeah, the whole thing gone. It's just I looked at it and I thought it was Marcel Marceau. What the hell? So let's I don't know. I got to adjust my microphone here just to make room and all of that stuff. And then I'm going to go over here to my bookmark history. There we go. Childe Harold. There we go. I got to make it big. Oh, no, wrong page. I'm so dumb. Okay, so I'll just do it like this. So I'll go back to here, go back over there. So, anyways, it's my son's birthday, and god damn, he's 40 years old. Like, my god, I don't look like I have a 40-year-old, do I? Oh, well, okay, wait, I got white hair. Maybe I do. Anyways, we're taking him out for dinner tonight to Gordon Ramsay's steak. It will be our third time there. The first time was last year for my wife's birthday, because, hey, it was her birthday. And well, mine was 9 days before that, but we kind of went in the middle. It was kind of a celebration of both our birthdays, but it was more hers than mine. And the second time we went was our anniversary, because we figured if we're going to go there, because it's god-awful expensive, like retardedly expensive, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. And the food is amazing. That's all I can say. And they make a pretty good old-fashioned. Okay, so anyways, what I should be doing is getting ready to read to you from Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, Canto 1, stanza 19. And I'm going to do it differently. I'm not going to use the book. Okay, I'm not using the book this time. I've got it. I found a site, and I printed up what I need, made it kind of biggish, so that way I could read it and not need my glasses, which I will need for my second reading of the sonnets. If I could just figure out where I put them. There they are. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to read stanza 19. The horrid crags by toppling convent crowned, the cork trees hoar that clothe the shaggy steep, the mountain moss by scorching skies imbrowned, the sunken glen whose sunless shrubs must weep, the tender azure of the unruffled deep, the orange tints that gild the greenest bough, the torrents that from cliff to valley leap, the vine on high, the willow branch below, mixed in one mighty scene with varied beauty glow. Then slowly climb the many winding way, and frequent turn to linger as you go. From loftier rocks new loveliness survey, and rest ye at Our Lady's house of woe, where frugal monks their little relics show, and sundry legends to the stranger tell. Here impious men have punished been, and lo, deep in yon cave Honorius long did dwell, in hope to merit heaven by making earth a hell. And here and there, as up the crags you spring, mark many rude carved crosses near the path. Yet deem not these devotion's offerings. These are memorials frail of murderous wrath. For wheresoe'er the shrieking victims hath poured forth his blood beneath the assassin's knife, some hand erects a cross of mouldering lath. And grove and glen with thousands such are rife throughout the purple land, where law secures not life. On sloping mounds or in the vale beneath are domes where whilom kings did make repair. But now the wild flowers round them only breathe, yet ruined splendor still is lingering there. And yonder towers the prince's palace fair. There too thou, there thou too, Vathek, England's wealthiest son, once formed thy paradise, as not aware when wanton wealth her mightiest deeds hath done, make meek peace of voluptuous lures was ever wont to shun. Here didst thou dwell, here schemes of pleasure plan, beneath yon mountain's ever beauteous brow. But now, as if a thing unblessed by man, thy fairy dwelling is as lone as thou. Here giant weeds a passage scarce allow to halls deserted, portals gaping wide, fresh lessons to the thinking bosom, how vain are the pleasaunces of earth supplied, swept into wrecks anon by time's ungentle tide. There you go. I think I did that one a little better than the last one because, well, I have the microphone on. Yeah, well, but I think I did it better because I like it better that way because I can actually look up. You can. It's well, it was good advice. Good advice. And now I'm going to read sonnet number 2. And I'm not going to do all the other stuff that I did before, and that's to tell you all the stuff that I have hidden in the book, because I, over the years, just put stuff in the book. Well, I'll just show you the one thing, okay? My son's baseball card. Where is it? There it is. 1992. Yeah, so there you go. He's 6 years old. Oof, okay, so here we go. Sonnet number. I got to put my glasses on. I got to clean them. Damn, I should get prepared. Okay, that should do. I don't need a lot. Oops. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Here we go. I'm sorry, I have to have my head down because I don't have one of those big things. Oh, I can do it like this. That might work. Okay. When 40 winters shall besiege thy brow, and dig deep trenches in thy beauty's field, thy youth's proud livery, so gazed on now, will be a tattered weed of small worth held. Then being asked where all thy beauty lies, where all the treasure of thy lusty days, to say, within thine own deep sunken eyes, were an all-eating shame and thriftless praise. How much more praise deserved thy beauty's use, if thou couldst answer, this fair child of mine shall sum my count, and make my old excuse, proving his beauty by succession thine. This were to be new made when thou art old, and see thy blood warm when thou feel'st it cold. Well, how appropriate that it would be my son's birthday, and it's about me getting old and him aging and looking like me, the lucky boy. Appropriate, huh? Yes, I think so. I have to put that to the side because that is distracting. Do you have the Globe Shakespeare? I don't know how long I've had this. Let me see. Oh, darn. I guess, what year was this one published? Jesus. Like, these thin pages. Published in 1950, 60, 79, 1979. Wow. Okay, this is the 1983 edition, though. Okay. Well, published in 79, and I got it in 1983. That's not bad. I like it. I've had it for a while, haven't I? Yeah. So, okay. So, what I also had done was I have a poem. This is my poem. This is Robin Hood, which is this book right here. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. Robin Hood. Robin Hood. Never mind, we won't go there. It was anyways, Robin Hood is a ballad that I wrote when I got out of school. My parents, for some unknown reason, and such a blessing they are, or were, I'm sorry, they said to me, what do you want to do when you graduate? Like, what are your plans? Like, what are you going to do? They were hoping I would go to university, but I I didn't think that I qualified for university because up here you have to have French, and I crapped out on French, and so I didn't go to university, and that's my worst excuse. That's the only excuse I had. Whatever, it is what it is. So then I told them that I wanted to be a writer, and good on them. They said to me, "Well, you know what? You can have a year off. You'll have 1 year, and you have to write a book. Simple as that. You want to be a writer, then you write. You have 1 year." And so at that time, I was a poet. I was a poet. So I thought, hey, if I write a poem a day, that's like 365 poems. But then after about 3 or 4 weeks, I got bored writing a poem a day because I thought that's not gonna wash. I wanted to tell a story, and so then I came up with the idea of Robin Hood, but it wasn't the normal regular Robin Hood. It was Robin Hood's Merry Men, and and I thought like I would tell it in two parts. The first part being their being young, and the second part how they all died. I know, depressing. And so then I wrote this poem, and it was 150 pages long. Each page had about 11 or 10, 11, 12 stanzas or whatever, something like that. I don't know. So then I sent it. I didn't send it into a publisher because I didn't know any publishing companies. I didn't know anything about publishing. I knew nothing. Found an ad in the back of the newspaper that said, "Hey, are you a writer?" And I went, "Yes, I am." And it was a subsidy publisher. Well, I've made bad mistakes in life, and that was just the first. But now, having spent all that money and having had to start at the mill to pay for that, and it was a lot, I have one book left, and that's this one. This one. The only book I have, the only copy. And I had 500 free copies. I used to take them to the bar and sell them for, what was it, $5? No, $10 each, I think. $10 each in the bar. And I would sell like 5, 6, 7 copies. And that would be like, that's my drinking money. Because, I was 19, 20, right? I was 19. Yeah. And so then, in order to pay for the book, I had to get a job at the mill. And that was that. That's the end of that. That's all she wrote. And I stayed there forever. I stayed there until I had to leave. I had to leave. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that yet. I will eventually discuss what happened and why I had to leave. But it's a really hard thing for me to talk about at times. And this isn't the time for it yet. And it's been, oh my God, 4 years now. In 2 days, it'll be fourth anniversary. January the 10th, day I'll never forget. Anyways, this is the prologue to my poem, Robin Hood. And I'm going to read it to you just because I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. Because this is just going to the paid. And that's you guys. There's only 31 of you. So, the prologue. It is an aged woodman bent who stops a gallant knight. Who art thee that calls me thus? Thou art a gruesome sight. Let me pass along the way, I must unto a maid. Let me go along in peace, the gallant young knight said. I would tell you of a tale of ancient days long past, when through the woods arose a wind that blew a huntsman's blast. Do you know the tale of men who rode through Sherwood glade, who robbed the rich to aid the poor, all at the point of blades? What is it then that you would have, a simple word to say, about a good man long ago, and of a dying day? Then say it now, I must be off. The maid awaits for me, and yonder is the clergyman, both waiting patiently. There was a time once, long ago, deep in dark Sherwood, when men swore fealty to their lords, and lived as good men should, when men like us took up the sword and followed Robin Hood. Robin Hood, the knight cried out, the greatest outlaw known. He reaped the harvest of the rich, and to the poor these riches sown. I, that very self-same man who lived in dark Sherwood, that very self-same man was he, that great man, Robin Hood. I would not tell the tale of him, but of his outlawed band, those men who answered to the call and rode across the land. When first we sing of Robin Hood and of his outlaw band, true men of stalwart heart and soul, who with him made their stand, I sing the song of Robin Hood, and then, just as I spoke, good Skaithlock Will and Friar Tuck, Allan-a-Dale and Little Moke. What then of dear Robin Hood's most favoured Little John? The tale could not be told as such, without him there is none. Of Robin and his Little John the tales have all been told. It's in the tales of his band a greater fondness holds. But who art thou that you should speak the fame of Robin Hood, a crone of old for wizened years? Didst thou know him good? A tear then came into his eyes and fell upon his breast. Then he then let voice a painful sob from deep within his breast. Knew him well I did full spell, and loved him as a brother. Of all that could in Darkshire wood, I felt he loved no other. Who are ye that loved him so, this good man, this man of good Sherwood? For surely thou didst know him well, this man called Robin Hood. And know him well I did full spell, a man for all my life, and with him we did travel far, through good times and through strife. And there within the breast of men no greater fear was known than whisper of our faith fearful names, Robin Hood and Little John. Say then thou art Little John, the greatest outlaw man, next of course to Robin Hood in that outlaw band. The greatest outlaw man no more, for time has passed me by, has bent my hands as well my back, and taken both my eyes. And yet the Lord hath given me a gift to know full well of whom to pass and whom to call and capture in my spell. Listen well that ye may hear of tales that now have passed, of men and dames of passing fame who heard the huntsman's blast. First let me sing of Robin Hood, but speak then of his birth, for of all the tales I sing to you, this is the song well worth. And after this is Skaithlock Will, a true and merry man. 'Twas he who held the greatest loss of any in the band. And then shall we hear Friar Tuck, a godly man bespoke, Allan-a-Dale, a gladly tale, and then of Little Moke. These tales I sing of youth, yet later shall come age, a last true claiming right therein, when on the dying stage. And last whereof the tale I speak shall so be of the first, which is the tale of Robin Hood, and of a love so cursed. And know the death of Robin Hood does pain me well full sore. There is a pain that calls to me ere I speak of times before. There you go. That is the opening poem, the prologue, as we say. And my idea, of course, is to make it into a coffee table book. I'm looking for an artist, but I can't afford an artist. And do you think somebody who's not published, somebody who, has no name for himself, do you think, he would want to take a chance and make a coffee table book where if the pictures were of the quality of, like, a Gustave Doré, the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, I'm sure you've seen that, Paradise Lost, all those pictures. That's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. And if you would just take the chance and say, hey, you know what? I'll help you with this. I'll take my chance. And then I can try and send it out to a publishing company. But what I really think would be the better way to do it would do a Kickstarter, of which I would need, because I've already done all the paperwork on that. I have it over here somewhere. It's it would cost me to self-publish this book, because it's the book itself is I think 7 stanzas per page, And when I do it on the thingy here, it's only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So that brings the book for a total of 350 to 380 pages approximately, depending on the font size, I suppose. But I want to have pages. I want to have them like, scrolly things around it like that. And then I want to have this. I want to have pictures over here, like down here. Have a tree up here, vines and stuff like that, like, because it looks cool. And I want each poem to have a color picture, and there would be 25 of them, 25 color plates in the book, and I would be selling the book itself would have to sell for $150. But if you make it big and it's presentable and it's pretty and the pictures are of awesome quality, people will buy it for the pictures as well as they will for the poem itself. And if I sell it for $150, I can sell 150 of them. Actually, I have a breakdown because I can sell that, and then I can sell them collector's item type, and sell that one for a higher one, autographed and with a picture print or whatever of one of the pictures and things like that. And God, I can't find it now. Of course not, because there's like 30 pages here. 30 pages. So yeah, we'll get into this. A full color throughout, 65 to cost difference per here it is, color plates, 25 total. Most buyers don't want constant color, visual noise. They want moments of color, pauses, and revelations. A color plate every 10 or 15 pages feels earned, not indulgent. About being demanding. Good. This book only works if you push, you question, you refuse. Almost right. That's telling ChatGPT that I just like. I'm getting tired of them. I have to find a better place than Chat because I tell you, they're useless. It's useless. But okay. So the downside, and okay, who buys it? This is what it says. Who would buy this? Poetry readers, medievalists, traditionalists, people who already care. Well, there you go. The uncomfortable truth. If you go black and white only, this becomes a beautiful book for the right people. If you go color plates and black and white, this becomes a serious book that can cross into the wider world. The hybrid is the key. The option that fits you best is the hybrid. Text, black and white, doré style, trees, ruins in the margins, controlled, timeless, color plates. Okay, I already did all of that. Yada, yada, yada. And the cost, reality. Printing costs rise sharply. Yes, they do. To lower printers' cost. Oh. All right. So, and what they say is that once you do it this way, and I'm only getting 500 copies. 500. So here's the breakdown. Yes, here it is. So let me see. If you sell 300 copies at $150 a piece, that comes out to $45,000. So then if you have 150 copies and you sell those at $190, that's $28,050 or $28,500. And then you have the last 50 copies that you sell those at $275. Sorry. That's $13,750. That gives me a grand total of $87,250 gross Canadian. It costs $25,000 to get it all printed up and stuff, and it costs $7,000 or $8,000 for Kickstarter. And so then I will walk away with 50 grand, of which I would split with the artist, and that's 25,000 each. And I kind of like those numbers. It's yeah, I have to have lawyers and all that shit because I can't do everything People don't trust anybody these days. So yeah, this is what I want to do. Get into chat, and then we'll do the live thing. And then you can come in and you can ask questions and you can give advice and you can say what you know about this and that. And you might know an artist. You might know somebody that can do Gustave Doré, like that kind of thing, and can illustrate things. And well, we'll just take it from there. So I'm going to leave little notes on the bottom of this thing, so that way you can remember about the chat. Join me with the chat, please, please. There's only 31 of you, like Then we'll have. I have to. I had a poll, but nobody seemed to answer it for the last thing I put out, and because I need to know what day to do the chat. I'm thinking Tuesday around 11 o'clock would be a good time, and yeah, we'll play it by ear. Okay, so that's all I got now. I'm going to have to say adieu, arrivederci, and ciao for now. So I will see you next week at the same bat time and the same bat channel. So for Poets Corner on BTC-TV Channel 13 in Vancouver, this is your host, Ben WOESTENBURG, signing off. And ciao for now.